name is Dennis Lynch, principal of Everett High School. It is my great honor and privilege to welcome you all to Everett Veterans Memorial Stadium on this beautiful 4th day of June to celebrate our 560 graduates from Everett High School. Tonight we gather not just to mark the end of a chapter, but to celebrate the journey, the growth, and the incredible achievements of the class of 2025. To our proud parents, families, and guardians, thank you for the endless support, encouragement, and love you've given these graduates. Your role in their success cannot be overstated. To our dedicated faculty and staff, your tireless efforts, your passion for teaching, and your belief in these young people have helped shape them into the bright, capable individuals sitting before us today. Thank you for guiding them with care, wisdom, and dedication. And now to our graduates, today is your day. You've worked hard, overcome challenges, and grown in ways you may not yet fully realize. You've not only learned from books, but from experiences, friendships, setbacks, victories, and lessons that will stay with you long after you leave our halls. As your principal, I am incredibly proud of each and every one of you. You've left your mark on this school, and I know you'll leave an even greater mark on the world.
Good evening, everyone. As chairperson of the Everett School Committee, there is no greater privilege than to stand here tonight to recognize and applaud the excellence of our students. It is a genuine honor to celebrate the class of 2025 alongside family, friends, educators, local leaders, and representatives. To our family and friends, let us acknowledge the unconditional love and patience that have made it possible to reach this pivotal milestone in your students' journey. To our educators, staff, and mentors, thank you for your unwavering belief in the potential of every student, which has made this very moment possible. Thank you all for lifting them up and walking beside them every step of the way. Tonight is a time for reflection and admiration. Our graduates have not only met academic expectations, they have managed busy schedules, faced challenges, balanced responsibilities, and persisted through uncertainty. And while today marks the end of one chapter, it is also the beginning of something new, filled with possibility. To our seniors, well done. You've shown that commitment, resilience, and heart make all the difference. Whether you're headed to college, joining the workforce, or enlisting in the military, go forward with the pride of what you've accomplished here with Everett Public Schools. Continue to embrace curiosity, use setbacks as opportunities for growth, and set bold goals that will propel you forward. You're not just stepping into the future, you are shaping it. On behalf of the Everett School Committee, I would like to congratulate our seniors on this well-deserved achievement and thank them for helping pave the way for future classes to succeed. Thank you for being you and making Everett proud. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Thank you, Principal Lynch. Good evening, and let me begin with a big thank you to everyone who's with us here this evening, to our students we are celebrating, to parents and family and friends who brought these children before us to receive their high school diploma, to our faculty and staff who have educated, inspired, and delivered our students to this very stadium, to our music department for their essential contributions to our graduation program and adding to its never-ending list of accomplishments at Everett High School. In fact, this year we saw our percussion ensemble capture its first ever Winter Guard International World Championship title. Of course, that's one of the many accolades and achievements our students have earned throughout this school year. I also want to express my deepest appreciation to members of our esteemed platform party. To Mayor DeMaria, the leader of our city and a key contributor to everything we do and hope to do within the Everett Public Schools. to State Senator Sal DiDomenico, who has a long and distinguished career in public service and has a proven track record of delivering legislation that supports and protects students and educators. To our State Representative McGonigal and other representatives who have joined us this evening, Representatives Ryan and Garcia, who came directly from the State House working on important legislation that would impact us here in Everett and beyond. To our school committee chairperson, Hurley, and the members of the Everett School Committee, who, without their overwhelming support, I would not have been able to steer this district on a path to excellence, who inspire me to work tirelessly on behalf of our students and families, and to our City Council President, Stephanie Martins, and the members of the Everett City Council. Your support to the Everett Public Schools gives us real hope for expanding new opportunities across our schools. Thank you so much to those folks that I've just mentioned. I also would like to acknowledge the school district's partners in this work, including the Everett Police and the Everett Fire Departments, whose professionals are essential to providing a safe learning environment for our students and our staff. And to the dozens of individuals, businesses, civic organizations, and various institutions that support Everett High School students with scholarships, internships, and opportunities to promote access and student achievement. And last but certainly not least, I want to have a big thank you. I know all of you are going to join me in thanking our principal, Mr. Lynch, our vice principals, Mr. Sutera and Mr. Murphy, and the entire Everett Public School staff, along with the many City of Everett departments who put considerable time and energy into planning and facilitating tonight's graduation ceremony. I am so proud to be part of this team that gives your graduation ceremony the attention it deserves. I would also like to call your attention to the flags that surround the stage this evening, signifying the many countries of origin of our students and family, and which serves as a reminder of our commitment to celebrating diversity and inclusivity here at the Everett Public Schools and beyond in our classrooms. That's right. Tonight is not like any other night in June. It is not like any other night in our school calendar. It is a night for Everett to honor and celebrate our amazing seniors, the dedicated faculty who prepared and mentored you during your time at Everett High School, and the proud parents, relatives, and loved ones who have filled this historic stadium for this momentous occasion. Being among the first to formally congratulate you is a little extra significance for me because this is my first full year as superintendent of Everett Public Schools. Thank you. A fact that several people have pointed out to me in recent days, including your Vice President of the class, Manal Bahu. In addition, as many of you know, my office has been temporarily located at Everett High School. And let me tell you, this has given me the unique chance to fully experience life in one of the largest and most diverse high schools in Massachusetts, and how proud I am. I have been inspired by being with each of you and amongst you each and every day, observing and absorbing the rhythm and energy you create every day, watching you learn, watching you compete and perform, and most of all, watching you interact with each other and your teachers. And it proves to me that we have not only educated you, but we have readied you to be influencers and change makers in a more culturally sensitive and mutually accepting society. This was especially true over the past several weeks as we held a series of celebratory events that led up to tonight's graduation ceremony. Whether it was seeing you arrive at senior prom, with all styles and smiles, I might add, or graciously accepting academic honors or scholarships inside Everett High School auditorium, you have brought honor to your families, our school district, our city, and beyond. We leave here tonight with so much pride, so much accomplished. We will wake up tomorrow to a new day, knowing that the future is yet to be realized by all of you. On behalf of the Everett Public Schools, we are proud of the mark you have left on Everett High School in particular, and the impact I know each and every one of you will have on our futures. So, to the members of the class of 2025, you did it. Congratulations.
Principal Lynch, and good evening. This is actually one of my favorite events, is being mayor. So, thank you for allowing me to be here this evening. Fellow elected officials, EPS administrators, faculty and staff, class officers, proud family and friends, and most importantly, members of the Everett High School class of 2025. So would you say all of you were born in 2007? And 6, 7, 8? So, I was elected mayor in 2007, which was the honor of my lifetime, to be the mayor of my hometown. I've got to see you all grow up. Read to you in your schools, Dr. Seuss, 8th grade basketball, just all the different events throughout those years. And I'll be honest with you, it's been the highlight of my life to see you all grow up. Really. I've enjoyed my 18 years as mayor, and being here with you tonight is a great moment for me. And if I've learned anything in that time, I've learned that the last thing you want on a beautiful early summer night celebration like this is to listen to a bunch of people give speeches. So I'm going to be brief. My wife, Stacy, and I are parents ourselves, and we know how challenging it is to raise a family today. So we both want to congratulate all the families here today and thank you for your sacrifices that you have made to make sure that this year's graduates have reached this milestone. So congratulations to all of you. There's a question that I would like to pose to our graduates. In the words of Kendrick Lamar, we all get distracted. The question is, would you bounce back or bounce backwards? As you move forward into the world, you're going to face obstacles. And God, you know I have faced them. Life is full of challenges and heartbreaks. But what life is all about, life is going to throw challenges at you. That's what life's all about. Life is going to throw challenges at you. Sometimes those challenges can distract us and try to keep us from achieving our goals. But don't let them. Never let anyone or anything ever keep you from pursuing your dreams. Never let anyone cause you to doubt yourself. You will never fail in life as long as you always believe in yourself. It is my distinct honor as your mayor to congratulate each one of you on behalf of the residents of the city of Everett. So congratulations to the class of 2025. God bless you all, and remember, bounce back.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amelia Maria Babcock, and I'm proud to represent our class as your EHS class president. It is a privilege to speak on this unforgettable day. Before we begin, of course, we need to start off by giving ourselves a round of applause. You should all be proud to be here today and excited to see what you can do with tomorrow. Before I get into my speech for real, I just want to take a moment to show my gratitude. I'm genuinely honored to have been chosen to speak today and incredibly grateful for this opportunity. I'm starting off by thanking all the staff at Everett High who keep this place going, including teachers, especially Ms. Jones, coaches who have dedicated their hearts to their teams, deans, janitors, lunch ladies, school committee members, and our superintendent, Mr. Hart. Thank you all to the families who have supported and pushed their graduates to be here today. Don't get me wrong, yes, we are the ones graduating, but they couldn't have done it without you, so thank you. And how can I forget the amazing EHS class of 2025? From start to finish, you've brought so many laughs and made this experience one to remember. Like Spirit Weeks and Mass Ave, even though my locker was... Oh my goodness, so windy. like Spirit Weeks and Mass Ave. Even though my locker was more like a side street, myself and many others still found our way there. When the lights went out at the boys' soccer senior night, we wasted no time and kept having fun. We turned our flashlights on, blasted music, and kept the energy alive. Even as simple as walking to Costa together or laughing in the back in math class, still having no clue what was being taught, it's moments like these that made our high school years unforgettable. God. Now I'd like to make this a little more personal. I thank God for walking me through every high and low and for being the foundation I can always lean on. I want to thank my grandma and my abuela for always showing me love and strength. I would like to thank my tia Fatima for being my second mother and always treating me like her own. I want to thank my papi. He has shown me what it means to work hard and staying determined looks like. He would sit down and help me work through complex math problems until I got them right. He would play catch with me for hours, and if it was a nice day out, you already know he took me to the courts and we would run ones. Still can't beat this man in a 1v1. One day. Hopefully. But he truly is my inspiration to work hard and stay driven. Finally, I would like to thank my amazing mom. She's actually right behind me as a school committee member. Stand up, stand up. That's my mom. I would not be who I am. Oh my God, sorry. I would not be who I am today if it weren't for her. She's my biggest cheerleader or my most brutally honest critic. And let me tell you, she can be pretty honest at times. But I'm grateful for it all. She has been my rock. Every step, every accomplishment, even every failure, she has been there. My mom is one of the most selfless people I know. Not only does she put me and my family before herself, but anyone she thinks needs it. My mom is like everyone's team mom. She does such an incredible job showing the people around her what it feels like to be loved. And I hope this message can reflect the same feeling onto her. I love you to the moon and back. Thank you. Okay, enough with this mushy gushy stuff. Now it's time for the real deal, and I promise it's not too long. We have a long night ahead. There's a philosophy I made in the 7th grade that I try to live my life by. It was also my yearbook quote. Do and regret. Don't overthink and never do. I'd rather apologize for taking a risk than never knowing the outcome. Now, just to be clear, I'm not saying you should go rob a bank, and if you do, please don't say Amelia said it was okay. That one's on you. But you gotta just do things you believe are right and worth it. This philosophy has had a profound effect on my life, and I would like to share some of the advice that has taught me with all of you today, in hopes that will have the same effect on you guys. First off, you can't plan your way into happiness. Some of us knew exactly what we wanted to do after high school. Some of us changed minds like every semester, and some of us are still figuring it out, and that's okay, because we are living in a very uncertain world. Sometimes the best parts of life happen when you stop planning and just say yes. You don't always find joy by following a script. Some of life's greatest adventures begin the moment you stop overthinking and just go for it. If we're always overthinking or overplanning, then we're not truly present. We have to write our own story, one moment at a time. That means being aware, staying curious, and leaving room for change. My mom has a passion for photography, and I've really come to admire how she freezes moments and times, creating little pieces of memories we can hold on to. But I've also learned something. If we're always behind the lens, you might actually miss the moment. Being fully present, eyes open, heart engaged, is the real memory maker. Some of my favorite memories didn't come from a to-do list. They came from saying yes to something unexpected. Spontaneity is where the stories live. The kind that start with, okay, I wasn't planning to, but, and ends with something we can talk about for years. For example, we planned our senior prank 12 hours before it happened. And now we have a story to tell. The truth is, being spontaneous isn't just about doing fun things. It's about trusting yourself enough to take a chance. It's about knowing that even if it doesn't work out exactly the way you thought, you're still gonna have a story to tell. A memory that stores, or just a mistake to learn from. Mistakes teach us more than perfection ever could. Perfection might feel safe, but it doesn't challenge us. Mistakes, on the other hand, force us to think differently, to adapt, and most importantly, to grow. Every wrong turn, every failed attempt, every "I wish I'd done that differently" moment all carry a lesson that perfection cannot offer. You don't grow by staying in your comfort zone. You don't learn from things you've never dared to try. Growth happens when we make mistakes, and the wisdom begins the moment we embrace them. Almost done. Look, if you zoned out during those last few minutes and didn't catch anything I've been saying this whole time, just remember this. Nike was onto something with that motto. Sometimes you really gotta just do it. If we're always planning, then we're just humans doing rather than humans being. Now I want you to listen to that again. If we are just planning, then we are just humans doing rather than humans being. So, to the class of 2025, I hope you take the risk, ask the question, have fun, and say yes to something unexpected. You won't always get it right, but you'll always have a story to tell. And sometimes that's even better. Thank you. I want to take a picture. I genuinely love you guys all so much. You guys are amazing. Come on.
Let's hear it for your class president.
Good afternoon, family, friends, and faculty. It is an honor to stand here before you today as this year's salutatorian. First and foremost, I would like to thank my mom, whose spirit and resilience has shaped who I am today. Mom, you are incredibly strong and beautiful. I could not be here today without your unwavering support and determination. For a better life. I would also like to thank my father for the sacrifices that he's made that has led me to this very moment, and my older siblings, Sandy, Erickson, and Bianca, for their wisdom and guidance through it all. When I came to the United States at 3 years old after the 2011 earthquake in Haiti that left everyone in devastation, I wasn't aware of the gift I had been given, a chance to start over. It's easy to lose sight of that gift as life moves on. We get stuck on the superficial things in life, like social media, money, and fame, that we forget that we have so much love to share with the world and so much life yet to live. Today marks the end of our time in the Everett Public Schools, but it also marks the start of our impact into the world around us. I want everyone here today to leave with the understanding that life is what you make it. You do not have to accept the cards that you have been dealt, but instead have the courage to change it the way that you envision. As I sat down to write this, I struggled to find something that would connect us all. I realized that we are all connected by the invisible forces that make us who we are. We've seen each other almost every day for 13 years, and in that time, we've shaped each other in ways we may not even realize. At this point in our lives, nothing is more meaningful than the relationships we've built, because these are the people who will be there to witness and celebrate life's biggest milestones with us. It truly is the friends we made along the way. I'd like to shout out Milena Antonio, who deserves to be up here just as much as I do. Your accomplishments are extraordinary. NYU has gained not only a conscientious student, but a humble and vibrant young adult, and I cannot wait to see what you achieve. To my fellow Haitians, I would like to tell you this. Quel que soit côté ou aller après jeudi, pas jamais quitter oublier ou c'est haïtien. Qu'en vite tout bien haut dans tout ça va faire, pas quitter oublier que nous résistants, nous intelligents, avec nous soyons force. As the late Chadwick Boseman would say, to be young, gifted, and black. Let today be a testament to you all of the power of minority groups, that once given a chance, an opportunity to thrive, we will soar. Sometimes it can be overwhelming thinking of all the possibilities that there are out there. Many of us want to be teachers, doctors, lawyers, artists, musicians, and so much more. What happens when you want to be all? The answer is simple. Be all. What happens? Wait. Never shy away from opportunities and do not take what life has to offer for granted. Say yes to the things that scare you, and if you're not scared anymore, conquer another obstacle. Be aware of the circumstances around you and how you unknowingly contribute to them. Always use your voice for what you believe in, even if it doesn't reflect the status quo. I would like to thank all the teachers who have shaped me from preschool to high school. I have not forgotten a single one, and I hope you take my accomplishments as your own. Shout out to the STEM pathway, run by Dr. Siders, for giving me a space to grow while pursuing my passions, but also for exposing me to a diverse group of people that I will always hold close. And to Randy Cruz, my very best friend, I would like to remind you, first is the worst, second is the best. As we leave the stadium tonight, be excited for the new lives you will start. You will constantly face failure, but never forget that it costs nothing to get back up and start over again. Good luck, class of 2025, and know that I will always be in your corner. Bye.
Let's hear it for your salutatorian, Kelly St. Fort.
Hello, guys. Okay, I'm really nervous, so bear with me. Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I know it's hot, so for everyone's request, I'll keep this short, hopefully. First, I want to congratulate the class of 2025. It's been a hectic 4 years, but we finally made it. Round of applause for y'all. I could stand here and pretend like I know every single one of you, but we all know that's not true. Still, I want you to know that every interaction I've had with any of you, no matter how small, has left an impact on me. Whether we became close over the years or exchanged only a few words, I've come to realize that I'm truly a collection of all the people I've met. Wherever I go, wherever you go, these memories and moments will continue to shape me, and for that, I'm truly grateful. I was just writing this final assignment, I started thinking about all the things I miss about Everett High. Hanging around the lockers randomly throughout the day, the awkward hallway glances at old friends, seeing my past teachers, and even the tater tots at lunch. It's all the small things that suddenly become so important. That sense of comfort and familiarity is really what keeps you going. So as you venture into the world, whether you're going to college, working, traveling, or just figuring it all out, find the little things that bring you joy. Find the people and places that make it so hard to say goodbye. Personally, I wouldn't be standing here today without so many people in my life. I want to thank my wonderful friends, my family, and my teachers, not just from Everett High, but going all the way back to Lafayette. One teacher in particular shaped me more than he knew, Mr. Patnock, my very first teacher after moving to Everett in the 5th grade. He passed away a few months ago, and I want to honor him today. He welcomed me when I felt out of place, and his belief in me stayed long after I left his classroom. He set me on the path to becoming who I am today, and I only wish he could have been here today. To every teacher I've had throughout the years, thank you. I hope you know how important your role has been in my life. As the saying goes, knowledge is power. Now more than ever, it stands true. I want to give a special shout out to the big three that guided me through STEM, Dr. Siders, Dr. Backlund, and Mr. Munoz. You guys have shown me nothing but kindness and support, and I'll always remember that. To my friends, the OG Lafayette Lions, Little Pieces, Callie, of course, and so many more, thank you so much for making this journey bearable. The memories we've created will live on with me till the very end. Finally, I want to take a moment to thank my wonderful family, who I hope is out there somewhere. Steph, thank you for your quiet strength and constant support. I know being the oldest isn't easy, but you make it look effortless. You've been my guide, my role model. Vale, thank you for the laughters, the chaos, the surprises. You remind me every day to live with joy. I can't wait to see you walk the stage one day. And to my beautiful mom, Mami, te quiero mucho. Gracias por todo lo que has hecho por mí. Todo esto es para ti. Espero poder darte todo lo que deseas un día. Thank you, class of 2025. I hope you remember that you were once part of something special here. I hope you carry a piece of this place, these people with you. And above all, remember to live and let time pass. Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's hear it again for your class valedictorian.
Good evening and welcome to the Everett School Committee regular meeting for Monday, June 16th, 2025. The time is 6:33 p.m. Clerk, could you call the roll to determine a quorum?
Student Representative Kelly St. Ford.
Present.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Present.
Ms. Babcock.
Present.
Ms. Barros.
Present.
Ms. Cornelia.
Present.
Ms. Cristiano.
Present.
Mayor Di Maria. Mr. D'Onofrio.
Present.
Ms. Guerin.
Present.
Mr. LaMonica. Madam Chair.
Present.
8 members present.
8 members present. We do have a quorum. I would just like to extend regrets from Mayor Di Maria. He is at an out-of-state conference, and we do have committee member Joanna Guerin attending remotely, so everything we do tonight should be roll call voting. With that, could everyone join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Chairman?
Yes, Ms. Christian.
I'd like to ask everybody if they could just stand up again. I'm asking for a minute of silence this evening for the victims and families of this past weekend's horrific, deadly attack in Minnesota. This shocking crime claimed the lives of State Rep Melissa Portman and her husband Mark, as well 2 other legislators, a state senator and his wife, were shot 8 and 9 times, respectively. We must stand in unity in condemning this unspeakable act, and in pledging to respect all people and all voices. But let's remember one thing. It should be respectful. To quote Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz, this cannot be the way we deal with our political differences. So again, it was a horrific weekend, just such a tragedy. And I just ask this community and all communities to really come together to think about how we can voice our differences more civilly. It's okay to disagree, but often public speaking, even in this community, is sometimes filled with vitriol and hate. And you know, I get it, it's your First Amendment right. But it's not helping, it's actually hurting. It's hurting this community and certain communities throughout this country. So again, I ask for a moment of silence and just hope that we can all be better from this. Thank you. Madam Chairman, I'd like to suspend the rules and take Roman numeral 7, items submitted by school committee members, 1 and 2, out of order.
Second. Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Babcock to take, suspend our rules and take Roman numeral 7, item number 1 and 2 out of order. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Guerin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved 8-0.
8-0, motion passed. Superintendent, could you read those?
Item number 1, recognition of Student Representative Kelly St. Fort, offered by Chairperson Hurley.
Thank you very much. If I may, from the chair, we'd like to thank and recognize our student representative, Kelly St. Fort, for her service with the Everett School Committee. But first, a little bit about Kelly. Kelly is the definition of resilience as described by educators. She has served as student ambassador, been an active member of the History Club, Student Advisory Council, she was on the Prom Committee, Everett Youth Initiative Council, and served as Vice President of the Hispanic Honor Society. She is currently the co-president of the STEM Club, where she is a devout advocate, volunteering her summers to mentor and teach middle school students about STEM. Despite the demands of an internship that kept her out of the classroom 2 days a week, Kelly still ranks second in her graduating class. That is Everett Public School excellence. Kelly has brightened our committee with her smile and bubbly personality. Her updates were always thoughtful, thorough, and inclusive of student activities district-wide. I even noticed our superintendent echoing some of her insightful updates. Kelly, you've inspired many, this committee included. Thank you for your service, your leadership, your spirit. We can't wait to see all the amazing things you do beyond these walls. And on a personal note, I truly believe you'll be Hokage someday. Congratulations, Kelly, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is so cute. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Great job. Thank you.
Superintendent, the next.
While maintaining item Roman numeral 7, item 2, recognition of Everett High School's senior TV studio interns. Ms. Hurley.
Thank you very much. I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize our senior TV crew interns and 2025 graduates, Tony Laidlaw, Evan Hubbard, Diego, Josh Aravalo, and Alexis Aguilar. Thank you for your incredible professionalism, creativity, and dedication. You've made our meeting space not only functional, but also welcoming and fun. Wherever life takes you next, know that you've left a lasting impact and you've made Everett Public Schools proud. Congratulations and thank you very much.
And when you see these guys in the hallways, they're smiling, they contribute so much beyond here, and I want to echo what the school committee chair just said. These fine young men, and I know we have lots more behind them, so thank you too for all of your time here at Everett High School. You're a credit to us district.
I'd actually like to entertain a motion to invite the one, the only Josh Delgazo before us to speak about these interns a little bit.
So move. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded by Mr. Almeida Barros and Ms. Cornelio to invite Josh Delgazo before us. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Guerin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
8-0, motion passed. Thank you very much. Welcome, Josh.
Well, just want to thank you for calling myself up, but especially recognizing these 5 outstanding individuals who have really blessed our program and have created a pathway for our future, as you see with our student outreach program that's really growing. These 5 individuals are ready to hit the professional world tomorrow. I mean, they're ready right now, and that's what's really cool with the blend of our TV studio and what they've been able to garner for a skill set in the theater arts program. These 5 are special. They'll forever be pillars of the TV program, and it's a lot of fun to have these 5 around. I'd like to think I'll be seeing them in the future. Maybe one day I'll be, hopefully getting on their shoots and their sets, and I can maybe help them out because they're going to be doing big time things. But again, just on behalf of Superintendent Hart, Mayor Di Maria, our school committee, especially Chairperson Hurley for bringing this together, but all of our school committee members, I mean, your support is why we're here and why we have this really strong program, and it's just been outstanding to be a part of. So just want to thank these guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Do we have a motion to, Ms. Babcock.
I'd like to speak on the motion. I just want to say that we couldn't be here every Monday night or Tuesday, depending on the week, without you guys. And for the audience, the amount of work and time that it takes to set up and break down this setting every night. They're here long before we get here, and they're here long after we leave. And we appreciate what you do to communicate what we're talking about to our community. So thank you.
Motion to excuse our guests with customary thanks. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to excuse our guests with customary thanks. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Guerin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved 8-0, motion passed. Thank you very much, everyone. Returning to our regular order of business, Mr. Superintendent.
I think we have some proud parents of our students out there. Thank you to our parents who came to support these fine young people. Item number 3, returning to regular order of business, Roman numeral 3, reading of the records. Item 1, Monday, June 2nd, 2025.
I make a motion to waive the reading of the records and place on file.
Second.
Motion has been made by Mr. Barrows, seconded by Ms. Barrows, to waive the reading of Monday, June 2nd, 2025, and place on file. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 4, public comment.
Make a motion to open public comment. Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Barrows, seconded by Ms. Cornelio, to open public comment. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Public comment is now open. The time is 6:46 p.m. There is no one currently on our sign-up sheet, but I'll ask the crowd, is there anyone interested in speaking at public comment this evening? Seeing none.
Make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Babcock, seconded by Ms. Barrows, to close public comment. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Public comment is now closed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 5, report of the student representative, Ms. St. Fort.
Kelly, your final report.
Good afternoon, everyone. I don't have a formal report today, but I would like to say some words for this last meeting. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone on this committee, not only for your dedication to your community, but also for serving as great representatives for the students that wish to be in your role one day. I joined the Student Advisory Council at the end of my freshman year, and although I didn't think it wasn't intended for me to stay here this long, it has been one of the most memorable parts of my high school experience. I want to thank Ms. McWilliam for her hard work with the council. Ms. McWilliam, your involvement in your community does not go unnoticed. I've had the best time representing the community under your guidance, and I hope you continue to inspire future students. I would like to take a little bit of time to thank those in my family for their unconditional support. In particular, my aunt, Weedleen Michaud, who saved my life from the priest during the 2011 earthquake in Haiti. I didn't have time to bring this up during graduation, but I would like to give her a special thanks. Without your sacrifice, I literally would not be here today, and I cannot thank you enough. I'd also like to thank my friends who have been there for me, especially Pablo Jimenez, for your words of encouragement and wisdom in times of doubtfulness. High school is tough for anyone, but I can confidently say that the support system Everett has offered me has truly helped me these last 4 years. I want to thank Dr. Siders for her encouragement, but more importantly, for teaching me to be my most confident self. Dr. Siders has always taught me to believe in myself and has always been there to pick me back up when I fail. Truly, thank you so much for the love and the one-of-a-kind community you've built for us. I would also like to thank Mr. Munoz for being the first to teach me my freshman year coming back from COVID that we are all growing and learning together. You have been a pillar in both my education, but also my social and emotional well-being. I knew that no matter what was going on, whether it was a hard class or regular high school conflict, I always had a place in whatever room you were in. You gave me and my peers a space to be ourselves, but also lent us an ear whenever we needed it. Thank you for being one of the first people or first person I saw every day, and for making me smile even on the days that I didn't want to. In the beginning of the school year, when we welcomed back teachers, I said some words that included, being a teacher is a privilege, but so is being educated. We owe all that we know and all that we become to the generations before us. I would like to reiterate that and thank all the teachers who have shaped me into the person I am today. I will never shy away from saying I am from Everett, where the teachers care deeply about their students. Lastly, no matter what political party you are affiliated with, I think it is safe to say that the world we live in today has
taking a turn towards uncertainty. During this time of uncertainty, I wanted to remind everyone that your compassion for those around you is your biggest gift. If you are able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and look at things from a different perspective, then you are one step closer to being the best version of yourself. I also want to remind everyone on this council that Everett is Everett due to the immense amount of diverse students we have, and diversity isn't just a card to pull when we want to bring attention to a community or put it on a website, but real people with different backgrounds and lives that have been lived that should be heard and catered to. Never forget that diversity may unite us in Everett, but in another town, it may be a burden. Pay attention to the news, cross-check your facts, but most importantly, show compassion to those whose shoes you've never been in. Thank you, everyone, for your time, and that'll be all.
Thank you, Ms. St. Fort.
Make a motion to accept that brilliant speech from the student representative.
Second.
Joanna, go right ahead.
Okay. Hi there. Hello. Hi, Kelly. Just first of all, I apologize for not being there in person, but it's been a pleasure to be able to sit next to you. I really do have the best seat because I get to sit next to the student representative, and seeing you grow and all the things you've accomplished this year has been a real pleasure. So I'm excited to see what you do next, and I know it'll be great.
Thank you, Ms. Karen. Motion has been made and seconded to accept the student representative's report and place on file. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Guerin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved 8-0.
So moved 8-0, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 6, report of the superintendent. Superintendent's update. I will keep this brief because we have lots of pieces of information and actions that you as a school committee must take this evening. For many of you who have children in our district, you know that today was the last day of school for the school year. Our students were released at 11 a.m. We had all grades released today with the exception of our pre-K program, which ended last Wednesday out of the 2 schools that house our preschool program. We didn't have any snow days that were called this year, which allowed us to keep on calendar, which made today last day of school. And I appreciate all the wonderful work that was done throughout the school year, and today is no exception. Everybody was really energized by the day, and we had a great dismissal. A lot of crying in the schools, teachers missing students already talking about wanting to see their teacher over the school year. So thank you, everybody who made today another wonderful day at the Everett Public Schools. Not to downplay all the great things that happened in the school, but we had an enormous graduation on June the 4th, and all of the school committee members can attest. We had over 550 students cross the graduation stage at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The principal, Dennis Lynch, presided over the evening. It was a wonderful recognition of the hard work that our students do to get them to that point in their academic pursuit. We had student speakers, which included our valedictorian, Randy Cruz Villanueva, a salutatorian and school committee student representative, Kelly St. Fort, and the class president, Amelia Maria Babcock, who, as you could hear from tonight, Ms. St. Fort, these are articulate young men and women who are educated in the public schools, who cultivate their talents, and they'll leave this building in a better place, and they will do even more and more exciting things in their next chapter of their lives. And I wish Kelly the greatest success as she continues to pursue higher education in her future. We had some very moving ceremonies last week in our K through 8 buildings. There's these ceremonies which occur every year. basically the send-off to our 8th grade students. And I will say that when we did that informal recognition of where our students are going to go beyond 8th grade, I would say, and I know that Ms. Babcock and Ms. Hurley joined me at almost all of those, if not all of those events, 99% of those young people raised their hand and they're coming to Everett High School. So we will welcome them and their families to Everett High School in August of this coming year. I'd like to thank all the folks who put those programs together, because you can imagine just setting up chairs and sound systems and coordinating all the energy around those days with the students and their families. We wanted every event to be as exciting as it should be, and I think, and please correct me if I'm wrong, members who were present, we had wonderful families coming together to cheer on their youngsters, and it's really heartening to see these kind of events occurring in our schools. So needless to say, we've had over 1,000 kids move on, either graduation or the 500 plus, actually there were more than 500 students across the 5 schools that have 8th grade. So lots of excitement here in Everett. And previous to last week's, we also acknowledged in our sports banquet all of our high schoolers who were on spring athletic teams. And I also want to thank Tammy Turner, our athletic director, and the assistant director, Steve Gallagher, the coaches, and all of the athletes that came to wear their Crimson Tide uniforms for the last time during the 24-25 year. Another successful event, recognizing the talent that we have here on Everett, on the field and in the classroom and in clubs and all the organizations that our young people get involved in each and every school year. Thank you to all of them, and we look forward to a healthy, safe summer for all of our students and those that can come back next year. I know that our staff will welcome them back with open arms. Madam Chair, that is the extent of my report this evening.
Ms. Babcock.
If it would be all right with you, I'd like to add one more thing, because it's been a busy week. There was also a lot of a band ceremony as well, and many of the students in our incredible music program, from orchestra, band, jazz band, Winter Guard, received awards as well, and we just have a really talented group of students.
Thank you. That was a great event. Thank you so much.
Yes, it was.
Thank you, Ms. Babcock. Any further questions for the superintendent?
Make a motion to accept the report of the superintendent.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Babcock, seconded by Ms. Cornelio, to accept the superintendent's report and place on file. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio. Yes. Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio. Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
The next item is Chapter 74 General Advisory Committee update. And let me just preface this by 2 things before you call 2 folks up to make a presentation. We just received word today that the state Senate and House passed a conference committee budget, which amongst other things will include an additional $100 million for CTE programs. This is great news for us because this grant fund will support the expansion of programs throughout the districts across Massachusetts. And I'd like to thank the legislature publicly, and I'm sure the governor will support this as an effort is put forward to support CTE programs, which we will hear from a little bit more tonight. So I'm going to ask you to call up our Director of Career and Technical Education, Siobhan Araya, and our CTE consultant extraordinaire, Lisa Sandler, who will, with the chairs, serve as our General Advisory Committee for CTE. Tonight they're going to present you with an overview of the 2 advisory meetings that were held in the fall of 2024 and the spring of 2025. This is something that should occur annually in every district that has CTE programs. It hasn't in the recent past, but it has this past year, and we have 8 CTE programs, Chapter 74 programs as they're known, 1 in advanced manufacturing, carpentry, culinary arts, health assisting, hospitality, management, marketing, medical assisting, and programming and web development. Tonight you're going to hear from both Ms. Araya and Ms. Sandler, and some presentation by our advisory committee chairs, which are also here this evening. So Madam Chair, with your permission, I'd like to have you call Ms. Araya and Ms. Sandler up.
Moved favorable action.
Second.
Favorable action. Motion made and seconded to invite CTE Director Ms. Sullivan and Ms. Sandler before us to present along with the CTE chairs. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Guerin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0, motion passed. Welcome, Ms. Sullivan and Ms. Sandler, and to any of our CTE chairs, if you do come up and speak, just state your name for the record and introduce yourselves. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us up. I just wanted to reiterate what the superintendent just said. We are making history here tonight at Everett High School by having the first ever General Advisory Committee for Chapter 74 programs here in the district. So what the superintendent said, we had 2 meetings this year, 2 program advisory committee meetings, one in the fall and one in the spring. And these chair people that you're going to hear from tonight, they were voted on in the spring meeting to represent each program. And they are going to kind of give you a brief overview of what those meetings spoke about, whether it's new equipment updates, different curriculum we should be looking at. And these are industry members, industry professionals who work in their field currently that are giving us feedback on best practices and what our students should be learning in the classroom.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Superintendent Hart, the administrative team, the teachers who worked extremely hard during this year to start building and expanding their program advisory committees and building a general advisory committee. A lot of work has been done behind the scenes, and they're continuing to reach out to the community to build the program advisory committees. So we also welcome any suggestions you have for potential members. We're always recruiting for the program advisory committees. Just keep that in mind. You may have family members, friends who work in these industries, and we'd be delighted to have them join our PAC programs. Thank you. It's been an honor to work with Everett Public Schools. Thank you.
Did you want to have certain members come forward at this point, and when they do, maybe they could, as the chairperson said, provide your name and the committee that you're, in the group that you're representing, and talk a little bit about the role of the work you've been doing?
Sure. So first, I would like to invite up the Speaker for Advanced Manufacturing, Michaela Kanapka.
Hello, everyone. The PAC discussed the importance of aligning instruction with industry expectations and emphasized certifications in 3D printing and robotics. Guest speaker Alex Kane from Mass Hire shared insights into post-secondary pathways, and Brian Napolitano noted a regional shortage of skilled machinists. This program should explore certification pathways in 3D printing and robotics, develop awareness of community college partnerships, and address industry demand for machine shop skills.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to invite up Eric Pierce. Eric is actually one of our carpentry instructors here at the high school. The chairperson for carpentry could not be here tonight, so Eric is going to speak on their behalf.
Good evening. So our PAC was impressed with the program's use of student projects to improve shop infrastructure. Recommendations included organizing tools via a tool cage system and enhancing visual communication within the curriculum. Members also suggested adding hotworks and hoisting certifications and increasing partnerships for co-op and community-based projects. The program should implement tool inventory improvements, pursue new certifications like hotworks and hoisting, and deepen industry and community partnerships for field experience and apprenticeships.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And what is the chairperson's name of your group so that folks know who that is?
We were undecided at the moment. We were hoping for Roberto Velasquez, but we needed someone who was in industry.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
The other name is Michelle Wright from the union. So Michelle
Great.
will be contacting over the summer as well.
Wonderful, thank you.
Next, I would like to invite up Victoria Fabo. Victoria works in the culinary arts field, and she is our chairperson for culinary arts.
Good evening. I'm Victoria Fabo, and I am a culinary dietitian. And a little bit about myself in the culinary world is that I have background in healthcare and in food service industries. And as you see, I am wearing the Miss Everett sash. This weekend I participated in Miss Mass USA 2025 competition, but I'm really excited because the Everett schools is where I have started, and I know the culinary field and what the program they're doing is really enlightening. So a couple of things that we discussed at the meeting I just wanted to tell you about. So they have a really great kitchen setup. Some equipment does need to be updated or resituated so it's a little bit more safe, and so that the students are more aware of how a kitchen is set up and how things could be more productive. With that said, they also have a grab and go section, and this could be really utilized as a really foundation for kids to see how it works in real life, to actually market something, have somebody buy it and sell it, and see how that revenue works and be really responsible in that setting. Something else that they can work on as well is just some updates of the curriculum. There's a CPR certification that they could work on and take care of. That's really essential while they're in the working environment. They already do Serve Safe as well, so if those two go hand in hand, it would be really great that they could do that. And they're going to continue to build their just readiness for soft skills and training. I know that the program that they have here sets them up to go right into the workforce. So they do a really tremendous job. So thank you for all your time.
Thank you.
Next, I am going to invite up our speaker for health assisting, Amy Pierce.
Hello. Welcome. Thank you. The PAC reviewed program facilities and suggested ongoing equipment upgrades, including new hospital beds and blood pressure machines. They emphasized diverse PAC representation, clinical rotation opportunities, and expanded partnerships with area hospitals. The program needs to upgrade essential equipment, explore full-day clinical experiences, and strengthen partnerships with local hospitals to support certification goals and real-world exposure. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Pierce.
The next speaker is for hospitality management, and that is Damian Gant.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for allowing me this moment to speak on behalf of hospitality management. And just bear with me one moment, my apologies. So our PAC members toured the simulated resort training facility and emphasized on a need for critical equipment like a point of sale system, also property management system. The discussions also addressed outdated frameworks, missing community industry support, the importance of experiential learning, and the industry-specific field trips. Our program should secure essential equipment and expand field experiences in food and beverages, hotel operations, and hospitality services. At the time of this meeting, state framework for this program have been updated. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Gant.
Our next speaker is Jana Ballard, and Jana is speaking on behalf of marketing.
Software like CapCut, Adobe, Canva, and platforms like Sprout Social and MailChimp were also discussed. Industry professionals stress the value of public speaking and real-world strategy application. The program should integrate industry standard tools, expand short-form media.
Sure. Good evening. The PAC recommended preparing students for modern marketing trends, including short-form video, SEO, AI applications, and multilingual campaigns. Certifications in software like CapCut, Adobe, Canva, and platforms like Sprout Social and MailChimp were also discussed. Industry professionals stressed the value of public speaking and real-world strategy application. This program should integrate industry standard tools, expand short-form media creation, and emphasize brand communication, public relations, and customer experience skills across multiple platforms.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have medical assisting, and I'm going to invite up Molly Payon for medical assisting.
Thank you. I'm excited to speak to you this evening about medical assisting. The PAC members recommended increasing field trips, securing more guest speakers, and emphasizing important soft skills like communications with geriatric patients. Interest was expressed in expanding partnerships with local medical institutions for co-op and clinical exposure. The program should build more interactive experiences through clinical site visits, diversify field partnerships, and prioritize communication-focused training, especially in the elder care environments where we know there'll be more jobs created in the years to come.
Thank you, Ms. Pam.
And our last speaker is Isaac Howard for programming and web development.
Good evening. So the PAC discussed concerns about classroom space and software setup. Suggestions include adding project management training, implementing agile methodology, and continuing GitHub training. Current partnership with BJK Productions were praised, and new student IT support roles within the school were proposed. The program should finalize equipment setup, embed agile-based project management into the curriculum, and expand hands-on learning through school-based IT partnerships and local business engagement. At this time, the program has been in communication with the District Chief Technology Officer, Joe Batuto, to see how students can help with ticket requests at Everett High School. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
That was the last speaker and last presentation, so now if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Mr. Barros.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you for the presentation, you, both of you, and all the speakers. I particularly love the work of advisory committees. We have some of those in the state, which we call council, but it's the same thing. And they actually give advice to us on several number of issues. The work of them, all the recommendations that they've delivered, that will go to you and to the superintendent to put it in practice. That's how it works. In other words, what are you doing with their recommendations?
That's a great question. So some of the recommendations that we had were put in place through the PAC meetings. The meeting minutes were then summarized into what was discussed in each meeting. Some of these initiatives we actually are working on currently, and the superintendent is aware of what was discussed and what each program needs, as well as Ms. Sandler here. But I can say we have been working on all of these recommendations for the past month or so since the chair people were summarized, the meeting minutes, and we kind of sent those back to the teachers. So everyone is on board with what needs to be going on and what needs to be discussed. Just today, Ms. Peary is one of our medical assisting teachers, and she's here tonight as well. She held a meeting with different clinical partners to see how we can expand our medical assisting clinical sites. We had a student who just this past year, a graduate who is now going to be working full-time through the internship that Ms. Guzman and Ms. Calve set up through programming web development. So the things that are talked about and the recommendations from the chairs, we are actively working on. Time, money, things come into play, of course. But with our Perkins grant that we do get in the fall, a lot of these recommendations we will be working towards to kind of put in place in the next school year.
Yeah, thank you. I'm assuming that we are not going to put in practice. That it never works to put in practice everything, that all recommendations that are given to us. There are things that we can implement, things that we cannot implement, as you know. So I was just curious. That's why I asked the question, because one, the work of the committee is extremely important, and what we're doing with it. But I know that we're not going to be able to implement every single thing. There are things, because especially when you have advisory committees, there are so many great ideas, but sometimes look at the superintendent, now the money is not out there, or the space is not out there, or there are things that we can't implement. But it is extremely important. They will continue to meet in a regular basis. That's the goal moving forward.
By law, we are required to meet twice per year, so one meeting in the fall and one in the spring. And then this meeting will happen every year at the end of the school year. Once we've had both PAC meetings, then we get together at this meeting for the General Advisory Committee meeting.
Terrific, and thank you. And you mentioned that you are always open to new advisory committee members. Where should we send those recommendations to?
They should go to Siobhan
Got it.
as the CTE director for the district.
Okay. Superintendent, I'll send you away, and then you can send to your team.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you both. And thanks everyone who presented and for the work. Because no, it's an advisory committee. It's a lot of work as well. I've joined advisory committees before, and when you take it seriously, it is a lot of work. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barros. Ms. Babcock?
I want to also thank you for, supporting our students and giving your expert advice in the field that you are specialists in. I am curious, just to extend on Mr. Almeida Barros's comment, how were you guys originally assembled or joined? How did you originally join the PAC? How did you get your members, your experts on your team here?
A lot of social media posts. So using our own connections to find industry members that were in our own industries. So when I was teaching marketing, I would post on LinkedIn, I would post on my own Facebook page to see who, I obviously had friends in the field, to see how I could get them in to join the program advisory committee. And same thing for every other teacher in our programs. They're posting, they're reaching out, they're putting flyers together, they're calling people. So it's a lot of work on our end. Which, like Ms. Sandler said, so if you know anyone, we would take anyone to join because we do really appreciate and value the feedback. But it's a lot of work on the teacher's part to kind of get those people in. And what's really amazing is we have some industry members, some PAC members who another teacher knew about, or they have a friend in a different industry field and they kind of brought them in. So it's really using your connections, networking, and getting those people involved.
We also, personally, I had reached out to the Chamber of Commerce for members in the industry as we looked at the 8 different programs that we have to see if there was interest in our own community members who are already engaged in the community. And we certainly, I think that one-on-one approach is important because some people don't realize what goes into it. And I applaud the work that they've done just recruiting the initial set of team members, I'll call them, because they're doing a lot of good stuff in the initial phase and will continue to grow on the expertise of these groups by meetings like this, communicating with others in the industry, and it does grow. And I know that Ms. Araya and Ms. Sandler are working with the team to bring some more folks on board. Keep the conversation robust.
Ms. Babcock.
One more sort of question or suggestion. What's an easy way, or could you provide us like a little bit of information that sort of simplistically explains what you're looking for in an advisory committee to somebody who might be interested? I know some folks in nursing, healthcare, and in hospitality that might be useful for your committee as well. And it would be, it's kind of sometimes hard to explain to somebody else, well, this is what we're doing, and I'm not sure if I could explain it well enough. Is there any information you could provide with us so that we might be able to share it?
Really, we're just looking for feedback on best practices.
In the industry.
In the industry. So the teachers that are in the CTE programs have all previously worked in the industry they're currently teaching in. So they come from industry. But when you're removed from industry for a few years, things can change drastically. So what we really want is feedback from people still working in the field who can provide us information on best practices, new technologies, how to incorporate AI into the industry that we're teaching the students, because AI is not going anywhere. So how do we adapt that and use it as a tool? So all of these things, using their knowledge in the field and how we can adapt it into our classroom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If I may, from the chair, I just have one question or clarification, really. A few of the programs mentioned field trips. I assume that's not linked to our nursing issue.
Correct.
More along the lines of just finding opportunities within those specific programs for opportunities and field trips for the students.
Yeah, so one of the great things about Chapter 74 and CTE programming is work-based learning. So sending students out to experience different field trips, opportunities, we've gone on so many this year. So thank you, Superintendent Hart, for allowing us to do that. We use a lot of our Perkins funding to get students out into different field trip experiences. We sent our health assisting and medical assisting students to Harvard Medical School to go through simulation labs. Our hospitality management students took a trolley tour all through Boston and kind of got to hop on and hop off and really experience that. So any field trip opportunity that we go to, it really has to do with the curriculum, with the industry, and what they're going to be learning.
Perfect, thank you. Any further questions?
No, we'll make a motion to excuse our guests with a customary thanks.
Second.
Thank you all.
Motion has been made by Mr. Barrow, seconded by Ms. Cornelio to excuse our guests with customary thanks. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Thank you very much, Ms. Sandler and Ms. Sullivan.
Madam Chair,
Ms. Cristiano?
I'd like to make a motion to accept the Chapter 74 General Advisory Committee update.
Second.
And place it on file.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Babcock to accept the CTE advisory report and place on file. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Thank you so much. I'm asking for your approval of the Everett Public Schools calendar for the 25-26 school year. Each of you had received that in your packet. The only addition to the calendar this year that was different from last is the late entry days on the first Wednesday of the month from October to May for only Everett High School. This is to accommodate common planning time and to increase productivity in terms of planning and student success. We are, again, trying this out here at Everett High School between October and May, and it'll be an hour and a half time period. The time is made up on the class that would be missed during that time, normally in that time slot. Our first day of school, just as a note for the public, will be August the 26th. As it was in recent years, this will be a half day for our students in grades 1 through 11. Kindergarten orientation will also be held on the 26th. There will be full days for students in grades kindergarten to the 12th on Wednesday, October 27th, and Thursday, October 28th. There is no school on Friday, October 29th, or Monday, September 1st, which is Labor Day, and Tuesday, September 2nd. Everybody will come back to school, including the pre-K program, on Wednesday, the September 3rd. So I ask for your approval so that we can publish this and get this to our students and families and our educators.
Make a motion to.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Babcock to approve the Everett Public Schools district calendar for 2025-2026. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
I'm also asking for your approval on your own school committee calendar of regular meetings for the 25-26 year. This calendar is just for your consideration this evening. This is generally the cadence that we have presented for you, and I'm going to turn it over to the chairperson for additional conversation about the various dates contained in the calendar.
Make a motion to approve the school calendar for the school committee.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cornelio and seconded by Ms. Cristiano to approve the proposed school committee calendar for 2025-2026. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So 8-0, the motion has passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Next order of business is the superintendent's report of entry findings. And with your indulgence, I will try to keep this as brief as possible, but wanted to be sure that I made this report to the school committee at the end of the school year. At each of your places, it is the superintendent's entry report of entry findings. This is a report that is backed up by data and some of my own research, along with the work of the district. But if you can just follow along with me, I've presented a few slides for your consideration, but there are additional slides at your place. This is a process that normally comes, and as you may remember, back in August of last year, I presented to you my entry information, and I broke it up into 3 phases. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that this evening. The report that you have in front of you is much more documented, and there's much more to read, and I welcome your comments, upon the time that you finish reading it, and it may come up from discussion when the committee does what it may with it. So just as a reminder, if you want to follow along on the slides behind me, I was appointed as the interim superintendent and then superintendent in December of 2023. My engagement with the Everett Public Schools came at a time of significant change for the district. The world was returning to some normalcy after the COVID pandemic, and I entered a time during which there was much anxiety both internally and externally to Everett Public Schools. My goal was first and foremost to listen and then to learn what would help this district and the community heal and ultimately thrive. I immediately began meeting with various stakeholders, including but not limited to teachers, parents, and students, all segments of our employee groups, city offices and personnel that work particularly close with us, including the police departments, the fire department, civic and community groups. And I was also trying to be sure that people knew that I was here to kind of stabilize, as you remember, or steady the ship, promote collaboration, and restore some civility into our dialogue and actions as we move forward together. As all of you know, all new superintendents do an entry plan when they begin their leadership post in a district. I had submitted my entry plan back to you, as I just mentioned, in late August. A report of findings is then completed as a result of this process, and it's submitted to each of you as school committee members. The report of findings serves as the basis of my evaluation, or any evaluation of a new superintendent, in conjunction with the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education standards that each superintendent follows across the state of Massachusetts. It also, for me, will set the beginning of a roadmap for setting some strategic priorities and a shared vision that I hope each of you will support as we now begin my second full year as superintendent. Just as a friendly reminder, the entry plan phases, and I think that's behind me, survey the vessel, which, as you remember, was my kind of symbol for my beginning of these phases, and it went from January of 2024 through June of 2024. Phase 2 was I called steadying the ship, and it went from June of 24 through December. And phase 3 was charting a course, which is about to conclude, and it went from December 24 through June of 25. Now, if you remember, again, that initial presentation kind of laid out the steps that would be taken in those time frames. So tonight I've placed in front of you both a report of entry findings as well as a comprehensive PowerPoint, which is a separate document. It may be included in, I think it's included in your 3-ring binder. And this report of findings typically includes an overview of the activities and steps I evaluated, findings of our strengths, and also finding of some challenges. In essence, this is kind of an analysis to determine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to our system. For example, one strength finding in the report is the high school received a positive accreditation review from the New England Association of Schools and Colleges. That's a great finding. It's a strength. And by contrast, one of the challenges that I discovered is that we had no written IT mitigation plan or procedures for serious IT crises or security threats across all of our district. So these are things that you will see thematically throughout the report. The report also includes a section I developed and is referred to as opportunities and actions. It's like a strategic implementation. In this section, I shared with you areas within the phases of my entry plan that have already been addressed or are in the process of being addressed and or implemented by myself and the team here. Based on my findings, I also recommended a strategic priority areas of focus that I have proposed for our future work together. Although we would typically set goals at our first meeting of the next academic year, I have decided to share some potential goals for your consideration so that you have time to think about them over the summer months. As my tenure began off cycle in December of last year, this will be the first full year for an evaluation period. The report of findings is a dense and academic report in nature. I wanted you all to have time to read it and digest it, and I look forward to working with the ad hoc evaluation committee and answering any questions about the report and its specific findings. And finally, I'm really proud of the work that we've done here together, especially the contracts that have been successfully bargained without any disruption to our academic year. We've developed two very transparent and comprehensive fiscal budgets that were developed in concert with the entire district and its people, and of course the members of the school committee. The district leadership team, which is being built to include position focused, as you know, on teaching and learning and student success, as well as student services. My priorities are our students and their safety. And the Student Opportunity Act plan that had been adopted over a year ago and have been successfully implementing that plan now in its second year. There is really so much to celebrate here, and I try to bring those points to your attention each and every time we come together, but there really is a lot more to do. And I am excited about the opportunities to bring us to that next level. And I also truly appreciate the support that each of you have shown me in my time here. As you know, there are challenges to running any operation of this size, and it is only with the support and encouragement and direction that I receive from each of you and, of course, the many people that make up this wonderful district, a district we all call home. We're going to do good things in this district. We're going to continue to do them. And as long as you'll have me, I promise you that I will give you my best foot forward each and every day. And I know that the people that I surround myself with will carry out the mission that hopefully you will adopt and endorse this evening and beyond, to know that you have a superintendent who is going to stay focused on the work you all, and some of you weren't here to hire me, but those of you who continue to support me, I am here to do the work that you need to be done here. Period. There is no other agenda. I continue to say that in community meetings and others. I am here to serve the students of this district. I will continue to do that amidst conversations about concerns. I'm open, I listen, I get information, I work with people who want to work with me, and I know that this plan will be successful and it'll work for our district, not only for this coming year, but hopefully for years to come. So with your indulgence, I appreciate the time that you've listened to me this evening. I'd ask you to take home the report of entry findings. We've spent some time assembling that information and backing it up with some supporting documentation that will prove that I've embarked on this journey. I've taken some good direction and got some good information, and I think we are on to bigger and better things. And again, I appreciate your time this evening. Madam Chair, that is my item under report of entry findings.
Thank you, Superintendent. Do you have any questions regarding the report? Mr. Barros?
Well, first of all, thank you, Superintendent, for this. I'm looking forward to read page by page. This is for my colleagues who haven't had a chance to review a superintendent yet. This is one of our top and main obligations as a school committee member. You hire or you fire the superintendent, and you evaluate the superintendent. It's the only one that we evaluate in the district, as you know. Just mention this to the public. You approve the budget and the policies for the district. So I'm looking forward to read each one of these. I guess I would like to hear from the chair what is the next step on this.
So next step, and I want to thank the superintendent for communicating with me and being very thorough and eager to get this done. Next step would be, these materials would be referred to the ad hoc subcommittee for further review in order to prepare and get the evaluation ready for the whole committee.
Perfect. In the meantime, I would also, Madam Chair, ask my colleagues who haven't had a chance to evaluate the superintendent yet to look at the website of the Mass Association of School Committee. It has a guide for school committee members on how to evaluate the superintendent. It's important for us to know because the superintendent's evaluation will go online, will be public, including the rubrics. What you did is actually a public document, and when you evaluate, so what you write, how you vote, you don't vote, you vote just then. How you write, how you evaluate, all of those will be for the public eye. So that's why it's important that we read the evaluation process. It's available both at the Mass Association of School Committee website, also the Mass Association of School Superintendent, which Superintendent Hart is part of it. Thank you.
If I could add to that, within the ad hoc, we would figure out materials to share with the body in order to help the process so everyone understands, and I believe there's a DESE rubric and guidelines we have to follow.
Make a motion to refer this to the ad hoc committee?
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to refer the report of findings to the ad hoc committee for review. Roll call. Oh, just kidding. Mr. Barros.
On the motion, Madam Chair, have you formed the committee? I'm wondering if the motion should be to refer this to you, who will then appoint committee members.
We form the committee, we form the ad hoc committee when we rearrange subcommittees in January, so.
Okay, okay, fine, so let's go with it. All right, thank you.
No problem. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business?
The next item of business is in the acceptance of a $5,000 donation to the Devon School from the FSI Foundation for Autism. I'd ask you for favorable action. Mr. Coyle, Mr. Sean Coyle, and the foundation that he leads quietly makes a series of donations each year to one of our schools, and this year it is to the Devon School, so I'd ask you to accept the donation of $5,000.
Move to favorable action.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the $5,000 donation to the Devon School from the FSI Foundation for Autism. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
I'm asking for your approval of an acceptance of a $12,000 grant for the MEL Community Foundation. This grant will establish a dual language immersion program steering committee to support a planning process that should take about a year to determine the feasibility of opening a program like this in Everett. This will give an opportunity for us to see how, if we choose to move forward, how we will arrange the offerings for a dual immersion program. Many other districts have it, Everett does not. This is our first step in receiving funds to support stipends to get teachers involved, and then we're going to make a plan to see if this could work in Everett. And I'd like to thank the team headed by Dr. Adams, who brought this to us to consider. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to cultivate and strengthen our non-English speakers in curriculum across the district. We would start in lower grades if we decided to go this route. There's usually a couple of options, but I want staff and others to be part of the process. So with your approval of the grant this evening, we can get our committees working so that they can begin the process of reviewing options for this Everett Public Schools.
Make a motion to accept the $12,000 grant from the MEL Community Foundation.
Second.
Ms. Babcock, a question?
I'd just like to speak on the motion. When I was working on one of my teaching certifications at UMass Boston, my mentor led the OLA program in Cambridge, and they also have the NIHAO program that's a dual immersion, and it's remarkable. You've got kids outside playing basketball together, and they're speaking Chinese to each other, of all nationalities, and the students came out actually speaking fluently 2 languages. So I really hope that this grant leads somewhere really exciting, because that's...
We do too. That's why we wanted to take advantage of this opportunity to get the foundation to fund us, begin that conversation, and make a plan if that's what our community decides to do. I think there's great value in this, and there are plenty of examples that this is, it also leads to stronger student outcomes, and that's really what I'm trying to look at, every option to benefit our students, and if this is one more way, then we're going to try to take that path.
I think that's amazing, because it lets both sides understand how difficult it is, kind of like our seal of biliteracy, on how it is to acquire another language and understand another level of communication on both sides. So very exciting.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Motion has been made by Ms. Cornelio, seconded by Ms. Barrows, to accept the $12,000 grant from the MEL Community Foundation. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
I'm asking your approval for the Everett Public School 8th graders to participate in Everett High School athletics during the 25-26 school year. I'm requesting favorable action because, in the next couple of items, because a lot of districts just make a blanket approval for our athletic department to allow 8th graders to play in high school sports. And without these approvals, we'd be coming to you kind of one-offs. I'd like to give our athletic the department the authority to permit 8th graders to play on Crimson Tide teams in the coming school year. And this is a kind of a blanket permission. As you may remember, I did that from time to time in the previous year, but this is just gives us the opportunity, again, to allow 8th graders to play in junior varsity, freshman and junior varsity teams.
Make a move to favorable action to allow 8th graders to participate in Everett sports.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Babcock, seconded by Ms. Cornelio, to approve the Everett Public Schools 8th graders to participate in Everett High School athletics during the 2025-2026 school year. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
This is very similar to the item I just spoke about. This is asking your approval for homeschool students to also participate in Everett High School athletics during the 25-26 school year. The students are allowed to participate if they're homeschooled in Everett High School athletics if there's a space available, and this would just allow us to continue that practice down to the 8th grade as well.
Superintendent.
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Mr.
I'm sorry.
Barrows. No, no worries.
Through you to Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart, you might not have this answer on top of your head, but do you know approximately how many kids we have on homeschool?
I think there's only a handful.
Got it.
At this point.
Not that many.
Yeah, there's really not that many.
Got it.
So this gives them that option.
Yeah.
And they also just, they have a lot of the same opportunities as our students who come to school.
Right.
And this, I just need to have permission to allow them to participate if
Absolutely.
the need arises.
Yeah.
And there's a spot.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Move to favorable action.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Babcock, seconded by Mr. Barrows, to approve, for the approval of homeschool students to participate in Everett High School athletics during the 2025-2026 school year. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barrows.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio. Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 7-0.
So moved, 7-0, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
I'm also asking for your approval for the Everett Police Department to hold its Junior Academy from July 14th through the 18th here at Everett High School. There are a number of activities that occur, but it's mostly in the classroom. Cadets come into the building between 8 and 4. There's no additional cost to us. The building is open, and in the past we've allowed them to do this, and I'd ask you the same again this year.
I'm making a motion to request the approval of the Everett Police Department to hold its Junior Academy from July 14th to the 18th at Everett High School.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Barrow, seconded by Ms. Cornelio to approve the Everett Police Department to hold its Junior Academy from July 14th to July 18th, 2025 at Everett High School. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
The last item I have is asking for your approval for the Everett Pop Warner to hold the Youth Cheer Pep Rally on October the 8th at Everett High School. It does not interfere with any other of our organized teams or sports. This event has been held in the past, and it would occur between 5 and 9 p.m.
Move to favorable action?
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Babcock. Mr. D'Onofrio.
I don't know if it matters or not, but Everett Pop Warner changed their organization name to American Youth Football and Cheer. I don't know if it's going to matter when it goes in.
What's the proper name now?
Say the new name.
American Youth Football and Cheer.
We'll put that on the permission, football and cheer. And cheer, you said? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Motion has...
Favorable action as amended?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the American Youth Football and Cheer group to hold their Youth Cheer Pep Rally on October 8th, 2025 at Everett High School. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros. Yes. Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Garin.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0, motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business?
We're down to Roman numeral 7. In this case, item 3, you had taken items 1 and 2 already. Item 3 is the appointment of summer delegation to review and approve bills and payrolls. Chairperson Hurley.
Thank you, Superintendent. This is just, we don't meet over the summer, but we do need to approve bills and payroll over the summer. This is something Finance and Negotiations has been doing. Not only do we view them in person before our meetings, but the finance team has been great in sending them to us electronically beforehand to view. As Chair of Finance and Negotiation, I would appreciate being appointed one of the delegates, but I would also like a second pair of eyes on it as well, and Ms. Cristiano has offered. So this would be the appointment of myself and Vice Chair Cristiano to review bills and payroll. And
Make a motion to accept the appointment of the Chair, Samantha Hurley, and Vice Chair, Jeannie Cristiano, for the appointment of summer delegation to review and approve bills and payroll.
Just a point of parliamentary procedure. As the chair has the authority without our approval, doesn't need our approval to appoint, but, you know, I mean, it's a good practice to just announce what's going on. So I guess I would make the motion to accept the chairman's approval, the appointments, and place it on file.
Second.
Mr. Barros.
She had a motion.
Yeah, so we have
she
to-
needs to withdraw her motion first before Ms. Cristiano proposes a second motion.
I make a motion to withdraw my former motion to appoint the delegation to review and approve bills and payroll for the
Second.
summer.
Motion has been made and seconded to withdraw the original motion. Roll call on that.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved 8-0. We have removed the original motion, and a motion was made, was it seconded? Yes. Motion was made and seconded to accept the appointment of Chairperson Hurley and Vice Chair Cristiano for the summer delegates to review and approve bills and payroll. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 8, Subcommittee Reports. Item 1, Finance and Negotiation Subcommittee of Monday, June the 2nd.
Madam Chairman,
Ms. Cristiano.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the committee report and place it on file. Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Barros to accept the Finance and Negotiation Subcommittee report for Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 9, Bills and Payroll.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cristiano.
I'd like to submit bills and payroll in the amount of $4,068,080.29. Second.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Barros to submit bills and payroll in the amount of $4,068,080.29. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Ms. Cristiano.
I'd like to pay bills and payroll in the amount of $4,068,080.29.
Second.
Motion has been made by Ms. Cristiano, seconded by Ms. Babcock to pay bills and payroll in the amount of $4,068,080.29. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved 8-0. Motion passed. Superintendent, the next order of business.
Roman numeral 10, Unfinished Business. There is none before you. Roman numeral 11, New Business. There is none before you. Roman numeral 12, Hearings. There are none planned. Roman numeral 13, Matters for Executive Session. There are none. Item 14, Adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Before we adjourn, if I may, from the chair, I would just like to take this opportunity to thank my fellow colleagues for their support, their representation, and their professionalism this school year. We've made great strides in working together for the betterment of our community. To Mr. Hart and his team for their positive and productive efforts in making the school year a success. To our building leaders, educators, and staff, thank you for helping our students feel seen, heard, and cared for each and every day. And to our students and families, happy last day of school, and hello, summer. Enjoy. Motion was made and seconded for adjournment. Roll call.
Mr. Almeida Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Babcock.
Yes.
Ms. Barros.
Yes.
Ms. Cornelio.
Yes.
Ms. Cristiano.
Yes.
Mr. D'Onofrio.
Yes.
Ms. Karen.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
So moved, 8-0.
So moved, 8-0. We have adjourned at 7:53 p.m. Thank you, everybody. Have a great summer.